Hi, today I'm going to demonstrate the features of serialized inventory software that is known as Inventory Soul. Now I'm going to tell you about purchase order. Suppose I purchase certain merchandise from a vendor and I haven't yet received the shipment or that merchandise. So I want to keep the record, and for that purpose I just create purchase order. In that purchase order, the detail related to that transaction or purchase is recorded. So this is the home screen, and just click on purchase, and here you can see purchase order. We just click on that. I'm going to create a new purchase order, so I just click on create. It opens the form for me. Right here there is purchase order ID. I just give it a number, suppose 201, and this ID is unique and also changes accordingly with the date. Suppose I just keep it 21. So here you can see 21. Now I'm gonna select the vendor. If I'm gonna create a new one, I can click on this button and it opens the form. Likewise, we already have discussed in the previous tutorial. I just close this. I select the vendor C4 from here. Then I select the payment type. It would be PayPal or wire. I select PayPal. Then I select shipping type. Shipping type shows two different shipping carriers like the UPS or the USPS or FedEx. I just select FedEx, and then if I have the tracking number provided by the vendor, I can add that tracking number over here. Suppose I have the tracking number that is 74512395678. Next is the purchase order status. If you haven't yet received a shipment from the vendor and you are waiting for that, the purchase order status remains pending. And if you have received a shipment from the vendor, then the purchase order status will be closed. So for instance, I just keep it on pending. I also have to add payment reference, that is supposed CHR456. Then I have to add the funding source, that is CH2. And it's also showing me the shipping address for the vendor and for the recipient as well. Now here in the item ID, I can select the item ID that we already have created, as I discussed in the previous tutorial. First of all, I'm going to select the item ID for the serialized item, that is the new Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. It will show the item description automatically. I can select quantity of the item that I actually purchased from the vendor, I suppose it's 2. Then I can also add the unit price. Suppose it's $50 per unit, and it shows me the total amount. If I have to add the multiple items, I can add a new row by clicking on add row button, and it shows me the new rows to enter any other detail for another item. Now I'm gonna take the item, it's one which does not have the serial number. As we already have discussed in the previous tutorial, this is the stock item, the new Apple adapter black, and I enter the quantity, suppose 5, and I also have to enter the unit price for each one, that is let's say 10, and the total amount for this stock item becomes $50. Well, if you have mistakenly added a new row, like suppose I click on add more and I don't require this anymore, I can also delete it by clicking on this delete row button. First of all, I have to select this row and then I click on delete row. It will be deleted. Now it's also showing me the whole amount. There is $150. And if you want to create a new item ID, you want you can do so later. You can also do that from here, as we already have discussed in the previous tutorial. So I just close this form. I click on save and close. So the record for this purchase order has been saved. This is the one showing over here. Now I have three buttons showing over here. The first one is to use the detail of the purchase order that I already have created. And if I want to delete this detail or this purchase order, I can do that from here by using this delete button. So I just close this form. The second one is to receive the merchandise, is to record detail for a receiving shipment merchandise. So I just open this and check the detail over here that I have received it. Will be done when the shipment or the merchandise is received. Suppose I have received a shipment from the vendor and now I'm checking the detail. It's showing me the quantity, per unit price, everything, and I can select or receive quantity. This is the quantity of each item which I have received from the vendor. Suppose I purchased 2 units of Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and I have received 2 units, so I just add 2. And now for the Apple adapter black, I purchased 5 units, so I add 5, and everything is same as entered in this area or in this field. The whole detail which you see is the same as already entered in the purchase order. You just need to update this quantity, and for the serialized item you need to enter the ESN or the serial number as well. So there are 2 units for Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, so I have to enter 2 different serial numbers. The first one could be SMGPL123, and now I press enter and gonna add second ESN or serial number. That could be SMGPL456. I just click on save and close. So the ESN for these 2 Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus have been entered, and for the stock item, as there is no ESN, so you don't have the option to add that. So we just update and the record is updated. So next one is to view their received items, the record or the detail of the item or the merchandise which we already have received, and it's always received in the current stock, which we will discuss later. We will discuss later about the current stock, and you can also view the serial number detail for the serialized items by clicking on this button that will show you the detail of the ESN you entered previously. I just click on close, and that is all for purchase order. Thanks.